Tikandolo, 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 eh. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Mimi from Kim, and today I'm going to be telling you the things that I wish I knew before I moved to Douala. Douala, the economic capital of Cameroon. When I moved to Douala, I left from Boya. I left as a fresh graduate. I went out and I was trying to get myself a better life, right? So when I went there, I came with my mentality from Boya, and Douala showed me Pepe. Ha! Okay, let's dive right in. Number one, Douala is expensive and it's not even playing with you. Housing. When I moved to Douala, there was this tendency for me to compare things, how things used to be in Boya versus how things are in Douala. I lived with my friend, forever grateful for that because not everybody is going to do that for you. And then when it was time for me to move out, I started looking for a house. I looked for a house. You know, in Boya, I don't know, but for me, it was easier for me to find a house in Boya, right? In Douala, I dived right into the Demasher world. Demashers showed me Pepe. You contact them on phone and they'll tell you, okay, they have a house, they want to show you that house, come over and see it today. What they showed you on phone is not what they'll show you in person. And you have to pay the marché 5,000 francs for them to show you a house. If you don't pay the marché, you will see shege. No, before I started paying the marché, I was like, no, I can do this on my own. I started walking around looking for houses. I walked under that Douala sun and then I understood why people pay the marché. I was like, okay, I'm at the point of acceptance. I need to pay the marché. Started working with the marché. Oh, they have a house to show you. It's good location. Is that? And then by the time you start going there, you see that what they're showing you is not exactly what is there. Oh, and you pay that 5,000. You will pay that money. Anyways, so as concerns housing, I was like, okay, I need a studio. Let me look for a studio. Like one room apartment. I started looking for a studio in my mind. I'm like, you know what, with 50K, I think I can get like a reasonably good studio. Because why not in Boya with 50K at the time, I could get a good studio like that. By the time I started asking for studios, you see studio, 100,000, that's 100,000 francs for studio. I'm like, are you kidding me? I will never, ever, ever pay that kind of money for a studio in Douala. Before I knew it, I've increased my budget to 60,000. I started looking for studio. You will see. In fact, in Douala, what I would tell you is that even if you have 20,000 francs for studio, you will find, okay? With any budget that you have in that Douala, you will find somewhere. But where do you want to stay? Do you want to leave work and before you get to your house, you're dead, dying, or decaying? You will find though. The way you will find, it might not be a safe area. It might be so difficult to access, even for you and for people who want to come over. If you're somebody who loves to have like friends and family over, you have to take all of that into consideration. So I love Bonamusadi and Koto, so I started looking in those areas, Koto, Bonamusadi, and before I could find a place, eventually I got a studio, right? Guess how much I paid? And in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm overpaying. See, I found a studio, I was paying 70,000 francs. And honestly, that was one of the best places I ever lived in. The landlord didn't give any trouble. It had good parking space, good balcony. In fact, it was a really good place. So going through all of that made me to understand that Douala and Boya are two different places. Douala is expensive, okay? Like relatively more expensive than Boya. And I needed to understand, I needed to come to an acceptance to live my life peacefully in Douala. And I think that if you're going to Douala, you need to know that particular one. Whatever you're spending in Boya, you will spend more than that in Douala. You need to accept that, know that, and know peace. Number two, like there was a culture shock for me walking around Douala. When we're in Boya, you could just walk on the road with your phone, you can make calls, you can be talking to somebody, your friend on the road, and you had no problem. In Douala, you don't have that luxury of walking around with your phone because before you know it, somebody has taken away that phone from your hand. I had an experience at one point they do. So my phone was in my bag. It was my backpack I was carrying on my back. And then I stood on the road looking for a taxi. As soon as I was about to enter a taxi, I felt a sharp wind on my back. Like I could have brushed it, but somebody shouted, "Mama mia!" And I was like, there's definitely something that is wrong or something that's not right here. As soon as I entered that taxi, I just opened the place where I knew I kept my phone. I did not see my phone. I told the taxi driver, I'm sorry, I need to go down. I'm going to look for my phone. Somebody has taken my phone at this home point they do, and I'm going to find that person. I went down. I looked around. Nobody is saying anything. And that's another thing. Everybody can literally witness a robbery, right? And nobody is going to say anything. Like, how? Make it make sense. Everybody around there knew who had taken my phone, but nobody was saying anything. No problem. I just looked around and I looked at one man sitting quietly. Just like he wasn't even looking like he had done anything. He was looking like an angel from above. I went to that man and I told that man, Monsieur, donne-moi mon téléphone. C'est toi qui as pris mon téléphone. He sat quiet. He didn't say anything. And I'm like, Monsieur, mon téléphone est avec toi. Donne-moi. I was like, Sir, my phone is with you. Give me my phone. You took my phone. I don't even know why I took that kind of courage. They literally would have killed me at one point they do that day. Hey! And I was like, okay, Monsieur, donne-moi mon téléphone. He didn't say anything. I was like, Monsieur, donne-moi mon téléphone. C'est toi qui as pris mon téléphone. And he was sitting down and then there was like some sort of cover on him, like a black cloth or something. And I'm like, so I just saw like the little corner of my phone. It was a white phone. So I saw a little like angle and it was like, I took that cloth away from his leg and I'm like, voila mon téléphone. I took my phone and then I went back to the road and I was like, God, where did I take this kind of courage? Normally I would let it go, but I don't know. Like, and everybody looked at me like, and I was like, Brad, no, you cannot do that to people. I took my phone and I went into the taxi and even the people at the taxi were like, what just happened? And I was like, at this point, I need my phone. Can you imagine? You will suffer and buy a phone, and then somebody will just come 5 seconds and take your phone from you. Like, how did that man open my bag, take my phone? No, you don't do that to people. I took my phone and I went. Yes. So please be very warned. Rompoindedo is crazy. Rompoindedo is very crazy. Like, I'm telling you. So yeah, that culture shock. You just have to know Douala is not Boya, you know. But when I'm in Boya, even like when I go to Boya more recently, I can walk on the road and I'm talking on the phone. Yeah, so it's something that like I still love about Boya. But in Douala, do not even try that. Okay, I've said my own. That's something that I wish I knew, but I got to know about it. Luckily, I got my phone back, but I know stories or other people whose phones have been taken from them and they never got them back. The next one. Do you know, like, there are many English speaking people in Douala, right? So, in Douala, when they realize that you're an English speaking person, do you know how they refer to you? Le Bamenda. Somebody will ask you, Tu es Bamenda de Bamenda ou Bamenda de Boya? And I'm like, I thought everybody in Cameroon studies Cameroon geography, at least up to a certain point. Because how do you ask me if I'm a Bamenda from Bamenda or I'm a Bamenda from Boya? So I'll be like, do you know that there are two English-speaking regions? Bamenda is found in the northwest region and Boya in the southwest region. And those are not the only towns in those regions. I don't get it. And it's not just one person. It's like a very wide, common thing. And they do it without like considering how you feel. Bamenda de Bamenda ou Bamenda de Boya. And I'm like, can you ask me if I'm from the southwest or from the northwest region? Like, how can you just group everywhere and be like, Le Bamenda? Make it make sense. No. Please, there are 10 regions in Cameroon. Southwest region, northwest region, littoral, west, center, east, south, Adamawa, north, far north. Cameroon has two English-speaking regions, okay? Southwest and northwest region. And somebody can be from anywhere in the southwest region, not necessarily Boya, and somebody can be from anywhere in the northwest region, not necessarily Bamenda. So yeah, like that's something that I feel like you should know. It's not just the people who are not educated. It's from the person who is carrying you like on the bike, the person in the taxi, the person in an office. Like when they're trying to engage in a conversation with you, they're going to ask you, Bamenda de Bamenda ou Bamenda de Boya. So yeah, that's something that people asked me a lot, and I took the time to like educate them and tell them to go and read about it. You should know that too, because somebody is definitely going to ask you. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing. I know this is something that is said over and over again, but I feel like it can never ever be overemphasized. Douala has traffic. Have you ever seen traffic? You know, when I left Boya, at the time, Boya wasn't like so traffic packed. Yeah, but nowadays, yeah, Boya and traffic. But when I got to Douala, I understood the meaning of traffic. You wake up in the morning, you want to go to work, traffic. You want to come back from work, traffic. You want to go to the market, traffic. You want to, like, everything, every moment of your life in Douala, you're calculating. But with time, I got to like understand or monitor and know when it's best for me to leave. Like, if I reach at a certain, like at rush hour, I would prefer, if I can, I would prefer to avoid rush hour. If I need to go to somewhere around 5 p.m., if I'm not ready or in that frame of mind to be in traffic, I will not go, because that is peak traffic. Have you ever been in Aqua at 5 p.m.? It is like normal for everybody. And I think that the solution to that problem is like taking a bike. Bikes are like faster, but bikes are also very expensive. A drop of taxi at the time costs you 250 francs, but a bike will cost you like double. So if you had to go somewhere that costs 250, with a bike you will pay 500 francs. For me, I did not like to do bashimang. I don't like to be on a bike and somebody else is on a bike with me, especially if I don't know that person. So usually I will pay double. So yeah, it's just like, just keep that on your mind. If you're going to Douala, if you want to go to work, you're going to be in the middle of traffic. The next is Douala is hot. Ah, as a Kumba Pikin, I thought that Kumba was hot. I thought I've seen it all when it comes to heat. But you see, Douala, your place day grand. Douala a place day. Give Douala its flowers when it comes to heat. Because even when it's raining, Douala is hot. The sun is up, Douala is hot. The sun is not up, Douala is hot. Like, Douala will show you heat in different categories. It has heat in the dry season, heat in the rainy season, heat in the normal season. Like, I feel like you need to experience it to understand. As soon as you reach Douala, you start feeling a different level of temperature. No, if you don't like heat now, just stay away from Douala. Just stay away. Ah, no. Another thing, oh my, Douala has some of the finest hotels and restaurants you'll see anywhere. Like, what I really, really loved about Douala is that fine dining life. Like, if I wanted to have something really fancy, I would just like be able to find it. If I wanted to have like my BHB beignet haricot bouillie, I will find it. Like how one woman was making BHB at the junction. I was eating that BHB. She was so good at it. And then when I just wanted to have like filet mignon, croissant, pain chocolat, of course I could find any of those places. So yeah, that was like something that I really loved about Douala. I love the finest things in life. Who doesn't, right? Who doesn't? Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for following along. What town do you want me to cover next? I've visited a handful of cities in Cameroon, so let me know what town you would like me to cover next, and I will do that. And bye. See you next time. Remember, I am Mimi Fonkem, and you don't have to thank me later because I am nice like that.